Guys, hi, welcome back to the channel. So I spent a whole freaking 1 week in labor ward posting, and my life was never the same again after my 1 week in labor ward. Oh man, it was a whole lot of emotions, but I didn't want to leave labor ward again. I freaking did not want to leave labor ward again. Like what? It was fun, it was crazy, it was busy, it was everything, like everything you can think of inside one, like everything inside one, exactly. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time in labor ward. But it was one of the best times so far in my obstetrics and gynecology rotation. Damn. So hi guys. Hi, welcome back to the channel. This is 52 weeks of housemanship and this is week 32. This is freaking week 32. We are just a couple weeks to go. Apparently, it's 48 weeks of housemanship, but you have this break. But then, yeah, let's see how it goes. Hopefully, I don't get to take any break. But yes, I'm in my third rotation. I'm in O&G. I've done surgery, pediatrics. I'm currently in obstetrics and gynecology. I'm going to be ending with, if you know, type it in the comment section below. And it's been a freaking journey. It's been a very long, beautiful ride, and I've been loving every single bit of it. So apparently, yeah, you're meant to do labor ward posting for like 2 weeks within the whole 3 months of your O&G rotation, yeah. But then the 2 weeks labor ward posting is not. It doesn't usually come at once. You don't just go for labor ward posting and then stay for 2 weeks, if you get what I mean. Yeah, you get to stay for like 7 days and then you come back to the ward, and probably if the HR rep decides to maybe put you again or something like that, just literally at her discretion. But the idea now is that if you've not done labor ward posting before, you have to do labor ward posting at least 1 week before you can get a chance to do another 1 week. So everybody is freaking getting their own time. Sorry, I've said freaking too many times. Everybody is getting their own time now to do their labor ward posting. I attended labor ward rotation during my time in school. Yeah, we caught babies and all of that, but it wasn't as intense as I'm seeing it, as I'm getting to see it now. There are a lot of things to talk about in this labor ward rotation. First of all, for every freaking woman that has had one previous cesarean section, like if you've ever done a cesarean section, whether it was elective or emergency cesarean section, and you finally get pregnant later on, maybe later on, yeah. The idea is to first of all always take your antenatal bookings seriously. Always take your antenatal booking seriously. Now, what most of the women down here do is that even in as much as they are booking at a maternity center, they still get to book in a facility where they have access to emergency cesarean section, that has access to blood, oxygen supply, and all of that. Please, for we have series of cases, yeah, where patients they are literally rushed from outside. Probably they've been in labor for so long, more than 24 hours, and maybe they had ruptured uterus or for whatever complications. And if you ask most of those women, they've had a previous cesarean session, but they didn't think it wise to book at a center where they can easily do their second cesarean session, because everybody wants to deliver like the Hebrew women. So they feel anything cesarean session is not Hebrew women. But the definition of delivering by or delivering like the Hebrew women is to have a healthy baby to a healthy mother after labor, like after the whole process is done, you still have a living baby and a living healthy mother. That is what to me it should be a delivery by the Hebrew women. It's not necessarily a vaginal delivery. At the end of the day, your child is alive and you're very much healthy. Do you get that? Should be what a delivery by the Hebrew women should be like, please. So please, if you've had a previous CS, always try to book at a center that have facilities to do another cesarean session, whether emergency, elective, whatever. So I went for labor ward posting a couple weeks ago. I think it's almost like it's been 2 weeks now since I went for labor ward posting, and I've been itching to tell you guys about it. So labor wards is just like a place where obstetrics emergencies are brought, whether women that are in labor, whatever complaints you have, literally, and it's an emergency, literally, you just come to labor ward. But then in our center, sometimes we are faced with maybe the emergency where the accident and emergency building is quite far. So sometimes after seeing our gynecological cases in the emergency building, the women are brought to the labor ward for further management. So in our center here, you have the liberty of seeing both gynecological emergencies and obstetrics emergencies at the same time, literally. And during my time in labor ward posting, the labor ward was mad. And I feel like it was to my advantage. I know that it was crazy, the workload was mad and everything, but then I found myself enjoying where I was. And then I worked with like the best of the best set of nurses. Trust me. Like these women, they were, ah, God. There was even a particular matron. She is a breastfeeding mother, but then her commitment to work, her dedication, and everything just, it was mind blowing in all honesty. And I was so eager to anything they wanted me to do, I was down. Do you get social episiotomy, take delivery? Yes, yes, I took deliveries. I took two deliveries in my labor ward rotation, and thanks to my chief. I don't know. He wasn't in labor ward rotation, but for whatever reason, he always makes it a point of duty to reach the labor ward every single time before he goes home. I don't know. That's just he has a very good heart and all of that. But not everybody would be so chanced and so pleased to do this. But then I loved it. So whenever he was there, he would be like, Gloria, you have to take charge. Anything you want to do, tell them you want to do it. If you want to conduct vaginal examinations and all of that, do it. Do you get out your gloves and do it. And honestly, I can tell you that now I can confidently say that I can do a vaginal examination. I can do a complete, like, okay, what I was doing in school was just tip of the iceberg, literally. I can do vaginal examinations. I can also monitor patients on CTG, monitor the cardiac, fetal activities, fetal heart rate, and all of that. Like it was just a very beautiful experience in all honesty, and I love this. I love every freaking bit of it, and I took deliveries. So now, yes, I know it is the job of midwives, wherever it is you are. Probably that's the teaching that it is the job of midwives to take deliveries, and I get it. But then how can you as a doctor say that if there are no nurses or if there are no midwives, you can't be able to take deliveries? Doesn't it sound somehow like fine, you treat patients that are not feeling well, you treat patients that are sick and all of that, but then damn, you can't take deliveries. A pregnant woman comes in labor, you can't assess her, check what station, descent, blah 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 she is, check the fetal life, counts the fetal heart rates and all of that. You can't be able to do that for your patients. You can't be able to monitor the labor progress. You can't be able to keep a pathograph and all of that. That is things those are things you need to learn, and I'm so freaking glad, so freaking happy I was able to do that multiple times. So I made a new friend that have been pestering my life all day. This is Nurse. Introduce yourself.
Nurse favorite to the one. From College of Business Sciences, Ngm.d.
Amigo.
200
Oh, 200 level.
And
And she said she wants to.
I want to be a pediatric nurse and specialist.
Jesus Christ. So hi guys. Today is my second to last day in labor wards, and thankfully it's been chill. I'm working with these beautiful girls, and my chief is directly in front of us. So let me show you. She'll say hi. And today has been calm chaos. You get. Yesterday was full chaos, like complete chaos. But today I'm surviving by the grace of God. This is Dr. Esther. Hey, Metro just came and said, well, this is Dr. Esther, this is Dr. whatever her name is. What's her name? Dr. Chiasa. Dr. Honora. That's the name that I was thinking about. It's almost 4 p.m. and we're almost going home. Joy. Well, I like labor ward. I like being in labor ward, but the stress is too much. I need to go home, find food, and rest. You with me? Oh my God. So my first day in labor was immediately I entered labor ward, yeah, that Monday. From Monday it was crazy. Every like beds were full. You had things to do. You had delivery reports. You had women to assess and all of that, and it was crazy. Thank God for my chiefs. Actually, they were on their feet. They were ready to combat those cases. Yeah, that day came an end, and apparently, thankfully, you don't have to be in labor ward from morning till the next day. So when it's 4, you're done. You go back home and all of that. So yeah, that's just literally the only advantage of being in labor ward. But from that 8 a.m. when you come to work till like 4 p.m., you can have several cases, you can have multiple cases. Do you get? Sometimes too, some of the cases can lead to can require you to enter the theater, can require you to have an emergency cesarean session or whatnot. Like that. We had cases, people that required cesarean session, emergency cesarean session, and running around for the patient, getting their materials ready and all of that. But yes, that Monday was a lot. Monday was a lot. On Tuesday, yeah, the next day, I think it was roughly around morning because immediately we came, we just went straight to work. There were just patients everywhere. There were things to do. There was literally no time to sit down and chill and rest. But then trust me, yeah, there were people to meet and all that. So while you're doing what you're doing, the atmosphere generally in the labor ward posting, in the labor ward room was or in the labor room, let me use the labor room, in the labor room was actually very cool. Do you get? So when women are there, they are screaming, you know how labor can be now. Do you get? You try to calm them as much as you possibly can, but some can be unconsolable. Some can just be screaming on top of their lungs and all of that, and it's ha. In fact, being in labor ward has opened my eyes to the sufferings of women. Damn, it made me ask myself a lot of questions. But then, yeah, that's story for another day. But yeah, it was fun. It was eye opening. It was interesting. In every bit of it was interesting. Honestly, my chiefs were there. They were putting us through. They were kind enough to tell us what to do, when to do, and all of that. In fact, for every, I tried to be as invested or involved in the management of as much patients as I possibly could. Do you get? But then there's only so much you can possibly do for each patient, and trust me, it was a very beautiful experience. Then on Wednesday, I think Wednesday was when we had the most amount of patients. At a certain point, yeah, the labor ward was full, like there were no beds, and then there were still women coming. So there were still women coming, like there were women coming, and then there were no bed to put them. Do you get that kind of a thing? So sometimes anyone we assess, we tell them to go back to the antenatal ward until probably they have a real emergency. Do you get? Until they can present to the labor room. It was crazy. The midwives too, they were also very much occupied. I wish, yeah, we could have more nurses in this center. Honestly, we need more nurses, more doctors, literally, because the work can be so overwhelming for them at times. And house officers needed to step up. So I get the teaching that okay, midwives are the ones that take deliveries in most of the centers, but then these are things you should know about apparently. So a patient came in, thankfully prior to that Wednesday, I had learned how to take deliveries, how to cut the umbilical cord and all of that, and the peculiarities around that. So yeah, a woman comes in just 2 seconds, 2 minutes into her coming to the labor ward. We hadn't even assessed her and all because we were so busy then. There were so many patients to assess, so many things to be done and all of that. And immediately she was coming into the labor ward. She wasn't like active phase literally. Her baby was almost out, and the speed with which I just told her, oh, please lay down, gathered, snatched an apron, went to the baby, went to the bed, and just took the delivery. And oh God, the sigh of relief she felt after which it was crazy. Honestly, I know I'm not doing justice to tell you guys the story as much as I would love to, but then this is as much details I can put as I can possibly give, and it was fun. It was really, I felt proud of myself for being able to do that. You get, I assessed her, and then her, that was just literally it. Thursday, something. I think it was on Thursday we went on strike. That's Thursday. I can't remember the dates exactly now, but yeah, we went on strike. The resident doctors went on strike. The Association of Resident Doctors went on strike. But apparently, in this my center, house officers are not part of ARD, which is very surprising to me because in most centers, the house officers are parts of the resident doctor. So when the strike was called upon, like both house officers, regis went on strike. But then in my center, the house officers were still on duty while the regis were not. So on that Thursday, literally, we came to work to see our regis and all that, but then they were nowhere to be found. We were supposed to do the work of the regis, the work of the house officers, and trust me, it was really crazy that day. But then whenever a woman came in, yeah, we just assessed her. Is this something we can be able to take? Is it a delivery we can be able to take? Is it a case that will require cesarean section in the long run and all whatnot? If it was a case that would demand that, we probably just send them over to a private facility or something like that because there was literally nothing we could do. And this issue of striking, well, I dare not comment about it, but I really just wish we don't have to even go on strike. Why would we have to go on strike before our demands to be met? So Thursday, Friday, we're on strike. So we house officers, we had to stand in for them. So I would advise any medical doctor, if you're doing your ONG rotation currently, I know you may not have the time. Trust me, anything you don't have the time to do in school, don't worry. Don't worry. Anything, all those you're posting, you feel, oh, I don't have the time to learn how to do this. Oh, I don't have the time to learn how to do this. Back then when I was in school, yeah, there was this, yeah, some of my classmates were in the cardiothoracic surgery rotation. Yeah, and I didn't get the opportunity to do CTU rotation back then in school. And I was always like, what are they really teaching them there? Although I knew about the chest tube and all whatnot, like you get like theoretically I hadn't seen one or anything as such, but then look at me, I've passed like 3 chest tubes on my own. And yeah, so don't worry if you don't have the opportunity or chance to get to, you can't be everywhere at the same time. If you don't have the chance or opportunity to get to see those things or to get to know how to do those things that you think you'd love to when you're in school, don't worry. When you become a house officer, there's plenty of time to be able to learn it. When you become a house officer, if you don't learn it then, you learn it when you're a reg. If you don't learn it when you're a reg, you learn when you're an SR. But I bet you will definitely come across it in some form or in some way during your rotations or during your training as a medical doctor. And when you're doing your obstetrics and gynecology posting, there are 2 places you should always go to. The first is the labor ward. You have to go to the labor. If you don't go to the labor ward where children are being delivered, because literally obstetrics and gynecology is about women, literally pregnant women, women with gynecological issues or whatnot. So if you don't go to the labor ward, I don't know how you can be able to learn some certain things. Trust me, they would seem like they are very far fetched and all of that. I understand that obstetrics and gynecology, there are a lot of theories, people have different opinions about different things and all of that. But then learn what you're being taught in class, learn how it is your lecturers are teaching you. You get, because that is literally how their marking scheme is going to be created. But then when you go to the labor ward, that is where you get to see obstetrics cases and all whatnot. Then go to the accident and emergency. I know that most women, yeah, they always like most obstetric cases always come to the labor ward, but then sometimes the gynecological cases can show up in the accident and emergency because in my school where I trained, there's usually an OBGYN section, yeah, of the accident and emergency. There's an O&G section of the A&E, and that is usually close to the O&G complex. I don't know if you get me. So know how it is being done in your center. If the O&G complex is still inside the A&E ward, fine, all the more better for you. So go and see how cases are being done there. So those are the 2 places: the emergency rooms, the O&G emergency room, and then the labor ward. And lastly, you need to be in clinic. Yes, it's in clinic where you see how cases are being cleared. Sometimes always also try to clear cases. Even while I'm a house officer too, sometimes I'm being given gynecological cases to manage, like to clear, to get to the diagnosis. And then question, my consultant asks me or my senior reg asks me, how is this patient going to be managed? And I prefer solutions and all of that. And that is literally how you learn. Don't say that you're going to be learning in isolation. You're going to, okay, do this yourself, and then it's not the best way to go. It's usually good to be under training, and to be under training is to get directives, maybe from your SRO, from your reg. Oh, chief, I read about this. what's up? This is this literally how it's being done? And mind you, sometimes when you attend morning reviews too is another really beautiful place to go to. So in total, let's just say there are three places to go to. There's the labor ward, there's the clinic, and then there's the morning review. So when you go to morning review, you see those things that are not in your textbook. Those things where they will start talking about how do you manage preeclampsia, how do you manage this, blah blah blah. That is where they talk about it. And before I end this video, I just want to say that it's actually a very beautiful thing where nurses are working, doctors are there, everybody knows their work, everybody is doing their work, and it's just there's so much joy there. Do you get? That was how my experience in labor ward was. We had nurses that knew their onions. Do you get? They knew what they were doing. It was just this. There was this synergy in labor ward, and I feel like in every single center, in every single other department, in every single other unit, this is how things should be done. Do you get? There was just this synergy, and I loved it. It was beautiful. It was just fun to see. I wish in every other unit I get to go to, this is the kind of energy I get to see. And trust me, women are doing so much. Another thing I wish for, yeah, I don't know why. Tell me what you really think. Should men be in the labor ward? Should men be in the labor room when their women are delivering babies? I see it on TV now. We are not going to be judging, or we are not going to be giving our opinions based off of what we see on TV and all of that. But then I want to know what you think. Do you think men should be allowed to come see or see the birth process totally? How, what do you think? Because me, I feel like the men should be by the side of their women when these things are going down. I would love to see that. Do you get? Maybe wear them in sterile clothing and all of that and then send them in. But then not when maybe you're dealing with an open system kind of ward where different women are giving birth, so you can literally just have men roaming around there and all of that. Lastly, I just want to talk about something I really love, really, really, really love about obstetrics and gynecology. So a woman comes in pregnant, yeah, she's in labor, she's having labor pains, passage of sugar, blah blah blah. She comes in, she delivers her baby, yeah. If healthy baby is there, healthy mother is there, voila, we're done. I don't know, it's just so beautiful. And then you get to see the fathers running around in Nigerian hospitals, fathers running around with powder, they're spraying powder everywhere. And then the father of the child is with powder everywhere. I don't know, I get to see a lot of those cases here, and it's just so beautiful to see. And then those small, cute little babies are everything. That alone is one of the things that I love about obstetrics and gynecology. A woman comes in, you deliver her of her baby, the father is ecstatic, the mother is ecstatic, and yeah, just beautiful. It's just feels the whole different beautiful vibe. So, with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that O&G is better than pediatrics. Sorry, don't be offended. But yes, you get what I mean. This is not really. That's really. Her name is Umesoma. She's very pretty, but then she doesn't like work. It's a good thing not to like work now. But she's very hardworking actually. Duh. I don't want to believe it. Hi guys, we just finished our call. And this young one.
Chelsea and Man U fan.
Oh god. We just finished our call. I don't have any water left. I need to go and find food and chop, man. Freaking tired.
Yesterday was not funny for her. It was not funny.
We wanted to sleep. We were just about sleeping.
It was not about the sleep.
It's not about money.
She wanted to sleep, actually. Because Man U are doing this point party. It was not about the work. It was about what Man U got the punish.
But why now? 3 freaking 0. Why? So I'll be going back to my unit next week. I'll be going back to my regular posting. Hopefully, I was going to be done with ONG apparently, but hopefully, I wish I could stay back or stay longer in labor ward rotation. But then it is what it is. In summary, my labor ward rotation was very fruitful. very fruitful. I got to learn a lot of things, trust me, in labor ward rotation. I got to meet really beautiful people and also learn a whole lot of things from my labor ward rotation. So yeah, and it just goes to solidify my love for obstetrics and gynecology as well. I love hands-on things literally, and this was just a very beautiful eye opener. You're yet to subscribe to my channel, do well to do so, do well to check out my videos as well, and hit the like button. I'm sure this video has put a little smile on your face or has exposed you to what is being done in the labor room, and or has given you any sort of inspiration or whatever. Yeah, do well to hit the like button, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Peace.